What's going on, everybody? After Sound here. Welcome back to the channel where we bring you Splinterlands content daily. We also stream over on Twitch at This Is After Sound. So come through, say hello. We do giveaways there. We do giveaways here. If you leave a comment, make sure to leave your in-game username, and I'll go through every week, pick out my favorite comments, and send you a little something in-game just to help you with a rental or to help you with an airdrop, whatever the case is. All right, so we had another AMA yesterday. I'm recording this on October 2nd, so Friday, October 1st in the morning, they had an AMA, and I wanted to cover probably my 5 biggest takeaways is how I'll put it. So if you have time to catch the AMA, it's a little under 2 hours, which is a long time, I understand. I had a chance to listen to it all through once, and then actually went back and sneak peeked or repeated a couple of parts that I wanted to get further clarification on. But here's the thing: if you are invested in this game, both with your time or your money, I highly recommend you listen to it. I think that there's a lot to be gained from it. Granted, if you listen to the one from a week ago, a lot of things were repeated, and so I'm not going to be going into that today. But I did want to call out 5 things that were not in the announcement or in the AMA last week, and share those with you. So let me go ahead. I'm going to flip this over to my little notepad here, and this is more so for my my notes, but hopefully will give you, if you are listening to this, if you're watching this, a little bit of a visual. So top 5. All right, first one, there was a specific portion dedicated to land, and Matt actually, before leaving, took a few minutes out to talk about the land expansion. First things first, there is no ETA on it, right? Oddly enough, Agrod mentioned, somebody said, oh, are we like a year plus away from land? And Agrod said, I don't think we are. But again, I think he's speculating, and let's take that with a grain of salt. Obviously, we would all love, the team and the players, for land to be implemented well before 1 year from now. But, as of now, they have no official ETA. The good news is that because the team is scaling up, they are hiring dedicated developers. And so according to Matt, right now, whenever there is an issue in the game, it's a fire drill, right? Everybody's out there putting fires out, whether it's the servers or what other issues, people have to come in and take care of that. Whereas hopefully in the next couple of weeks or months, having developers that are solely dedicated to the land expansion means that they will focus on that and only focus on that. So still no ETA, so no real updates outside from the fact that, obviously I'm excited and I'm glad to hear that with the team scaling up, there is this focus on land. And that's going to be a really cool and a very, very interesting and complex addition to the game, which I'm looking forward to. Even though I'm so new, throw as many wrenches in and we'll see what happens. All right, number 2. This has been a hot topic for the last 2 end of seasons, but it's the rental issues that people are bringing up with the price inflation, or as some might call it, price gouging, right? Now, if you're new to the game or if you haven't seen yet, the rental prices just go way sky high at the end of the season because it's about where you end the season rather than the highest level you reached at the end of the season. So unfortunately, I cannot give you, I'm sorry, not me, but the team is not giving a solid fix or plans on fixes. But I wanted to share one thing that Matt had mentioned, which was potentially putting in new filters into the game or into the rental market system, where as the owner, I can now go in and say, I want to rent this out for a specific period of time. And then somebody can come in, filter through, I want a card for a week, 3 days, 7 days, whatever it is, and therefore rent the card. And then I can no longer cancel the rental on that person, right? Now, does this fix will that fix the issue? Yes and no in some senses. Some card owners may not care because they will just like put it up and they just want to have their card moved, right? Other people who are more involved in the day-to-day will still, maybe just have it only be till the end of the season so that they can take advantage of that end of season rush. And here's the thing, guys, right? There's 2 ways to look at it. One way, it's a free market, and there's no regulation over this. It's a free market, and if you want to rent the cards, then you got to pay for it, right? And if you own the cards, which I am telling people to do, start buying and investing in in-game assets, flip your DEC for that, then it's then I don't know. It's a complex topic, and I understand for a lot of players with not a lot of capital, it's very frustrating. So hopefully, with this new filter, if they can put it in, again, not confirmed, but if they can put it in, that'll make things a little bit clearer. And I think somebody had mentioned, not on the AMA and not from the team officially, someone had mentioned putting in a filter for, like, let's say, like for cards that I own. If I say, I go ahead, rent this card out and rent it to the end of the season and just essentially prorate that last day so that as soon as the new season ends, the card comes back to me, right? Again, will this fix all the problems? Probably not, because rental prices might actually go up in order to capitalize and get back some of what they're going to lose out on with that last 1 or 2 day rush. But we'll see how the market goes. And I can appreciate the team looking into this and trying to create, not regulate it, because I always feel like we need, with crypto, we need less regulation and more free market. That's the appeal of crypto. But hopefully more clarification, more filters, so that people can go through and know exactly what they're getting. So if they rent a card for X amount of time, it's because the owner says, I'm going to give it to you for this amount of time, and not cancel randomly on the day of or day before, whatever the case is. So hopefully we can go further down that path. There seems to be a lot of great suggestions out there. Some of the ones that I just gave, not my ideas, but ones from the team, and then one through the end of the season, I think are both fantastic places to start. So we'll see if those get implemented anytime soon. But I understand the frustration, guys, and I'm right there with you. I mean, I don't rank cards at the end of the season. I suck it up and I just stay where I'm at, because I don't want to pay for it, right? Like, I have some cards that I own, and I will put those up for rentals at whatever the market's going for, but those aren't enough to get me to like silver or gold or wherever I might reach from a rating standpoint. So I get it. I don't like playing that game at the end of the season, but it's a complex but free market, and I can appreciate and respect that. I just hope that there can be more clarification for players as we go along. I think that'll be good all around. All right, number 3, there are no plans to continue the airdrop pass next summer. So if you guys have seen, I think we're on day 67 or something of this airdrop. So we are like almost 10 and a half months in. Is it 10 and a half? What's my math? Yeah, 10 and a half months we have 10 and a half months left of this airdrop. Am I doing the math right? No, we've done 2 months already. So 9.5 months left of this airdrop, where they're essentially giving out, millions of dollars in free SPS. And somebody asked this to Aggro, and he kind of laughed it off. And I couldn't agree more, because it's like they're giving out this SPS to people who have in-game assets. And again, this is millions of dollars, and especially as the price of SPS goes up. So, he very flat out said, no, they have no plans to continue the airdrop past next summer. And I don't see why they would, right? I don't see why they would, unless something else potentially came up and there would be value. But to me, the value is going to be in holding SPS. And so therefore, right now, it's like stack as much as you can. People are doing it, and the price of SPS is going up because of Chaos Legion. But, if you believe in this game long term, I do feel there will be airdrops, not in the SPS airdrops, but potentially airdrops in game for those who hold a certain amount, right? Like, it's a governance token after all, and that's what they're trying to do. So it was good to get clarification on that. Number 4, DEC inflation was mentioned. Now, for those who might be new to the game or are just not aware, DEC is supposed to be pegged at $1 equaling 1,000 DEC. Right now, that is not the case. The value of DEC is like 8 to 8.5 times its peg, right? Meaning that it is 8 to 8.5 times higher than what it is supposed to be at. Now, I kept hearing this and knowing this, and I've been preaching caution through a lot of the videos that I've done. But one thing that was mentioned, and I'm going to do a deep dive into DEC if they have a white paper or something. Somebody in the comments had mentioned it. So I want to look into this and hopefully give you, do the deep dive and hopefully give you guys just the Spark Notes version of it in a video. So I'll be looking more into it. But one of the things that was mentioned by Aggro is that the way that the algorithm works is that it is trying to stay at its peg, meaning that it will print more DEC if the value of DEC goes higher than the peg, right? So it's intentionally trying to inflate the number of DEC to therefore devalue the DEC to get it back to its peg. So guys, I keep cautioning you, and I'm not trying to be a fudder, I'm not trying to be a bear, but I'm just telling you how the algorithm works. And now that I've gotten a little bit more clarification, Agro went into it, more DEC is printed if the peg is up. So everybody's getting excited here. I keep seeing DEC is going to hit a penny, DEC is going to hit 5 cents or whatever the case is. In the short term, it very much could, right? And people are going to come and probably dunk on me in this video if DEC hits like 5 cents, and they're just like, oh, why? Nobody listened to him. I don't know what's going to happen in the short term. I don't even know what's going to happen in the medium to potentially long term, right? So 6 to 8 months out, because right now the value of DEC is so high because of the airdrop. So see how all this stuff is playing together? This airdrop ends in 10 plus months, right? Or 9.5 months. And after that point, I don't know, DEC will probably not be as valuable to hold. Can you, if you're trading it, can you flip it? And, if you had bought it at 5 or 0.005 a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and now it's 0.008, right? That's a 60% jump. Like, I'm happy for you if you did. I mean, I hold a good amount of DEC, so please don't get me wrong. All I'm trying to do is caution you guys from and make sure you fully understand how the mechanics of this currency works, right? From a blockchain and crypto perspective. It will print more if the value is higher, meaning that the system is actively trying to bring it back down to its peg. So if you're looking at this and hoping like, it's not Dogecoin, it's not going to go to like 25 cents. It may go to 25 cents, but what I'm telling you is that it's not supposed to, and the system will consistently be working against you in the long run. So sorry, I feel like I'm getting heated or preachy about it, but again, I'm just worried, guys. I want people who are new to this game not to get wrecked. So please just take it all with a grain of salt and just be aware. That's all I'm doing. Just trying to raise awareness to how this works so that as an investor, as a player, you can be as informed as possible. So not a bear. I'm so bullish on this game, but just want to let you guys know and share that information. Lastly, and this is kind of an aside, almost like a throwaway comment from Agrode, which could have been like a slip of the tongue or a Freudian slip, whatever the case is. But he mentioned SPS as a currency, right? And he said something along the lines of like, it's a currency, blah, blah, blah. And that caught my ears, right? Because as I've been saying, and as we know, right, they want to give SPS away as in-game rewards. You can now use SPS to buy packs and in-game things. As we know, and this again goes into playing the fact that DEC is supposed to be the in-game currency. Like, SPS is going to become more and more valuable, more and more used in this game, which again, I'm totally speculating here, and I mentioned it in a previous video, but every time I talk about it, I'm speculating. I don't know what the future of DEC is, right? And that's not to say that the team will do away with it at some point, right? But it's interesting for this game to have a token that is considered the currency, right? The in-game currency, and then to have the SPS token referred to as the governance token. But then the founder comes on and mentions it as a currency, and you can see in some of the ways it is now being used as a currency. So will this game, for the rest of its life cycle or for the rest of its life, have two currencies? It could. I think that's actually somewhat complicated, but people are doing it right now. But whether or not they get rid of DEC, and that's not anything from the team, that's only from me, right? Whether or not they get rid of DEC, again, this goes back to the fact that DEC is inflated right now. So just be careful, guys. Just be careful. I'm not trying to be a bear, again, but just don't want anybody to get wrecked. I believe in the long-term value of this game delivering to its players and to the people who put time and money into it. And so I just don't want anybody to get wrecked because they don't fully understand how all the different market forces work. All right. So that was a little bit more long-winded than I was hoping for. I'm at almost 15 minutes now. So it's like a portion of the AMA itself. But that's all I have. If you guys have any questions or want me to dig in deeper into any of these topics, please let me know. Leave it in the comments below. If this content is bringing value to you, please consider liking and subscribing. It's a free and easy way to support the channel. And for those of you who are leaving comments, I highly encourage you to leave something thoughtful and engaging that brings value to the community. And I go through on a weekly basis and send you a little something in game, whether it's SPS or DEC. So make sure you leave your in-game username. Other than that, guys, I'm loving it. This is exciting. all good news all around, especially if you're taking the long-term view with this. So have a good one, and I will see you around the game. Take care.